Hey guys, Surgical Clark here, or Clark KO, as you might know me as. So welcome to the real pilot of Wrestling Around, which is our podcast, where we talk about wrestling and possibly have some guests on the show. Of course, you know me as Kyle Clark on YouTube, or K Clark KO as my gimmick. And, well, Marshall, my buddy, or Death Trap Gaming, has just got on. We're just waiting for him to get in here. Well, so then, here's PBG. Just a random friend of mine. So, so, um, so, so let's start into this. We could talk about this. Really? Okay, he's in. Hello?
Yo,
Yo. So, okay. So let's start that again. Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Around. It's of course one of your wrestling co-hosts, Kyle Clark or K Clark KO, and of course here with Death Trap Gaming or Marshall Danger is his gimmick name. We're
you're
here.
damn right.
This is gonna be the real pilot, using Restream, which is the new streaming software, as you might not know. Also, let's talk about some latest news. First off, Logan Paul is going to be coming on this Friday SmackDown, which I mean, he's going to support Sami Zayn. He's going to possibly be involved in the WrestleMania match between the two. Well, it is planned, but PBG's back. So Logan Paul is going to be coming. PBG, like I said to Marshall Danger, Logan Paul is going to be on this Friday SmackDown to, I guess, watch his documentary, Sami Zayn's documentary on like first how I lost the championship, how they rigged me or whatever. I mean, Logan Paul, they're just bringing in more celebrities like Bad Bunny. I never heard of the guy when he came into the WWE and won the 24/7 championship. And Logan Paul, I know him actually pretty well before he actually popped up. He's pretty controversial, and he's kind of like YouTuber and vlogger and boxer, as a matter of fact. I guess recently he was in the news lately because he knocked out Nick Robinson and made a meme about it. So yeah. So what I think Logan Paul coming to SmackDown, it might boost the ratings, it might not. But Marshall, what do you think?
To be honest, if you think about it, if Logan Paul's coming to SmackDown, you never know. Jake Paul might come to it too.
Hmm. Well, they are brothers, but would I don't know if I don't know if it's possible, but Logan Paul might get in the ring. I don't know if it is possible, but
And he's gonna get his ass whooped.
yeah. Oh, I forgot to say. This is gonna be PG-13. There are gonna be some swear words, so beware. It's it's not gonna be that much trying to be family friendly, but besides the point, besides the oh, hold on, what happened? Wait, hold on, what happened? Hold on, I'm having some technical difficulties. Oh, it's crashed. Wait, hold on. Wait, did you crash?
Hello?
Did you did you crash?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, as we were saying, um, I mean, it's bringing up the fact that Jake Paul might show up along with Logan Paul, but uh, Jake Paul might be there, but I don't think we could see him. Logan Paul might be involved in the match at WrestleMania, at this year's WrestleMania between Owens and Zayn, supporting inside of Zayn, but I think it's just there to boost up the ratings, like a couple of other celebrities did in the past.
Well, if Logan Paul's showing up, now that Jake Paul might show up, probably not. There is another guest who could show up possibly.
Yeah, there could be. So, also, here's some other breaking. Moving on from that, there's some other breaking news. I recently from Fox Sports, ECW legend Rob Van Dam has confirmed his Hall of Fame induction, or at least his future Hall of Fame induction to be announced, which he kind of deserves it. Um, Unlike Kane, like the recent inductions into the Hall of Fame, Kane deserves it. But in my mind, Great Khali, people say that he might be a bad wrestler. People say that he is a good wrestler. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt of being there from 2006 to all the way from 2014 until he appeared just once or twice in the next coming years. But
But
Rob
to be
Van
honest,
Dam deserves it. Van Dam deserves it. So what do you think?
hmm, honestly, in my opinion about Rob Van Dam, confirming that he might be a future Hall of Famer this year, I think that's a good idea. That's a good thing. He deserves it. Honestly, he should have been the Hall of Famer of 2020.
Hmm.
Um, here's
Well, he
the big news: Bryan versus Edge versus Roman,
yes, the triple threat that we were all expecting. Um.
and we all
Well,
think
Daniel, I
they
don't know.
suck.
I had a little discussion with you before, like hours before this happened. It's kind of confusing. Who is the face in this scenario? I don't know if it's Edge or Daniel Bryan, or if they're both,
I
or
think
neutral.
I think they're both faces, and Roman's just a heel.
But didn't Edge just hit Daniel Bryan with on the back with a steel chair?
All faces could do that. You never know. Just so many people with back in the back with a chair, and he was a face.
Hmm, I see. Well, if moving on to that, that's one of the WrestleMania matches on the match card, which might main event WrestleMania itself. But there could be another main event contender, Lashley and McIntyre, which, I mean, it's. I mean, would we want to see McIntyre being a three-time WWE champion in a span of like over about a year?
Yeah,
If whatever happens, at least Bobby Lashley won the WWE championship over like 15, 16 years he's been in the company. Um, Also, let's talk about. Oh, go ahead.
so
Okay. So the other WrestleMania matches include Randy Orton and The Fiend, which is not announced what type of match type is going to be. Oh, speaking of Randy Orton, I was looking at this. Randy Orton and Soldier Boy were just having a little Twitter beef, just going back at each other. I don't know if Soldier Boy is going to get involved in the Fiend match, but that's kind of an unlikely scenario in my opinion. But they could possibly fight down the road in a match after WrestleMania. But other than that, Soldier Boy, he's not going to be in it, really. Uh, Hello? You there? If you're speaking, you're kind of Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second. Marshall, you there? Hello? It's kind of. Marshall? Marshall, kind of rejoin. Because I couldn't hear you. Wait, hold on. Speak?
Hello.
Okay, it's kind of a delayed when you speak. I could hear you, but the little speech circle, the little sound waves, it goes a little delayed. So, besides that, we were talking about the WrestleMania matches, like the Fiend and Randy Orton. I've been hearing a rumor that was going around that the Fiend is actually Bo Dallas, the new Fiend that was like singed, that came out of the ring at Fastlane, could be Bo Dallas. So
Hold on, I get
so
my. I get
what? Okay, so you there, Marshall? So so I'm gonna address the audience, the listening audience, that um that WrestleMania this year is going to be in business. It's going to be people open to all the people that are wanting to come out and get tickets. So if you are a wrestling fan that watching this video and want to attend this year's WrestleMania, then buy your tickets now. So I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm just saying if you want to attend this year's WrestleMania. Oh. So okay, so there's my other buddy T Place here. We were just talking about a lot of a lot of stuff. Oh, okay, so so we were talking about WrestleMania 37, how RVD is confirming that Hall the Hall of Fame induction that people are rumored of saying that he was in the Hall of Fame, and how Logan Paul's going to be on this week's SmackDown. Hello.
Did you say Logan Paul's gonna be on this week's SmackDown?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
time for me to stop watching WWE.
Hmm. I don't know. Well, we were just talking about me and Marshall. We're talking about like WrestleMania 37 this year, about the match card. Orton versus the Fiend, Orton and Soldier Boy going back at each other on Twitter, trying to get some, trying to incite some beef between the two, which, in my opinion, could culminate in a match, but not at WrestleMania. In my opinion, there could be a slight chance of Soldier Boy actually interfering in the Fiend's match, but I mean, that's kind of a slight possibility. But, never say never in WWE when it comes to wrestling. Um, so, um, so, well, as you know, WrestleMania 37 is going to be on Peacock, which I actually have. I'm going to watch this year's WrestleMania 2 years in a row. But besides the point, so what do you think of Rob Van Dam being in the Hall of Fame?
I think it's very well deserved.
Yes,
Because not only is Rob Van Dam an ECW original, but he's also won multiple titles in WWE as well. I'm pretty sure he won the ECW championship for WWE's version of ECW, and he's won the WWE championship.
yes, he
And
had.
he's just a badass, so.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he did hold the ECW and WWE World Heavyweight Championships at the same time before in like 2006, as you might know from the
And he's
ECW One
one of a
Night
kind.
Stand.
Let's just say that.
That's what people call him, you know. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess people are going to be rooting for Rob Van Dam. I mean, but let's talk about other two Hall of Famers, Kane and Great Khali. Well, Kane obviously is well deserved for being in the WWE for over 20 years. And I honestly think that he could extend his career in the ring, but maybe he could retire. That's a well deserved, like The Undertaker. He could rest in peace. But the Great Khali, he's been competing since 2006. Uh, Maybe he could return in the ring today, but uh, not as well deserved, but at least well deserved enough to be known in the wrestling business. So, yeah,
I mean, Ray Cully wasn't too good of a wrestler, so. And he's only appeared like one time in the past 6 years, so I don't think he's that deserving of a Hall of Fame spot, but whatever.
well,
If they're going to give the Great Khali a fame spot, where's Undertaker? Where is The Rock? All those superstars who never been
yeah,
brought for
yeah, I'm
the Hall
confused.
of Fame.
Why was Kane inducted before The Undertaker? Was announced before The Undertaker? Undertaker is way well deserved. He's been competing since the early 80s.
And his last
And
match was only last year.
yeah, and the Boneyard match was actually good. Since it was a cinematic match with AJ
We need
Styles.
more cinematic matches, but we're not going to have any more cinematic matches because the stupid crowd's coming back at WrestleMania.
Maybe. So, I mean, Well, there was. Let's on the topic of WWE. Let's talk about the people that were underutilized in the WWE, like Bo Dallas. He was the youngest man ever in the Royal Rumble, or at least he was a man that is younger than the Royal Rumble pay per view itself, which it which kind of kind of achievable if you were like possibly 19 and you started your career in the WWE, you could possibly be in the Rumble. So 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 who do you think could be in this year's Hall of Fame besides the one mentioned? Marshall, you there? Um, you're not really speaking. Well, I can hear T plays. Oh, he's gonna join in a second.
This thing crashed again.
So, in my opinion, who should be deserved in the Hall of Fame is 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 about like a couple of ECW guys, like Rhino. Rhino is that been competing for WWE since the Invasion angle, which kind of after WCW and ECW closed, Rhino was doing good for himself, competing in hardcore matches, but hasn't been in the WWE since like 2018, 2019 maybe. Maybe some of the ECW guys could get their rightful place in the Hall of Fame. So, who do you think would be in the Hall of Fame this year, or at least in the future years to come? Who, in your mind, should be in the Hall of Fame?
Um,
Hmm. So,
Honestly, it burns me to say this, but probably Ziggler.
Ziggler?
Yeah, he's been
Well,
around for a while. He's won a few championships. He was in one of the dumbest teams ever, but
the Spirit Squad wasn't as much. Well, was just dominated by DX, but at least he's still around somewhat from
still,
the Spirit Squad.
he's a WWE veteran. I think somewhat deserves to be into the WWE Hall of Fame.
I really think that some of the ECW guys and like Randy Orton could be in the Hall of Fame someday. Possibly at that 20-year, like that 20-year mark in Randy Orton's career, could possibly wrestle after his Hall of Fame induction. Like Hulk Hogan did it, Kurt Angle, Goldberg. Well, Goldberg's kind of a lot of critical on Goldberg because of his, ring work in the WWE lately. So, is it working now?
Yeah, I can say you guys.
Okay. So, who do you think should deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame for the years to come?
This is gonna sound really stupid, but Chris Benoit.
Yeah, that's pretty controversial. I think people kind of not going to say much about him. I know people don't won't forgive him for what he did back in '07, but
He was a great wrestler. He was. Behind all
I
that, he was great.
I know he was, but he I think it was because of the I don't know. There's a lot of people rumoring about this little Benoit case, but the but you
My
know
personal opinion is if they would have added Chris Benoit to the Hall of Fame, they would have done it years ago, and they probably would have done it before 2007 anyway, since he was wrestling since like 1998 in WWE, I believe.
I, I see that he
And he did win a bunch of world championships. Well,
on that
a couple
on
world
that
championships.
on that day when he was supposed to face CM Punk at the Vengeance pay-per-view in 2007, he was supposed to go over CM Punk and win the ECW World Championship.
Well,
Marshall,
all I know is, even though he did that, even though that happened, how do we know if it was really him? That's the thing. People still think it could be somebody else that done it.
Well, it's easy. You could have just checked the fingerprints on whatever weapon was used to murder the people. Uh, that shouldn't be a good word to use.
so let's talk about the people that are being underutilized in the WWE that are should deserve better, at least deserves a push in some sort. One that they're trying to do with right now is Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews hasn't really won much except the U.S. Championship. Um, he was going to win the IC Championship, but maybe he could win it down the line. Oh, let's talk about some. And speaking of underdogs, one of our guests is here. He's he is a former wrestler in the WWE, and he is the self-proclaimed world intergender champion. Please welcome James Ellsworth. Please,
How are you?
good. How are you, Mr. Ellsworth?
I'm good. I don't know if you can see me, but I can see you.
Okay, yeah, I can't see you.
I pushed the button here. It's not. Oh, let me reverse it. How do you do the
Oh,
reverse?
I get that because this is kind of like a new streaming software that I'm using. It
Yeah, how
gets
do you
confusing.
reverse it? Oh, let me see.
so
Now can you see me?
so how's it in Baltimore right now?
Oh, it's good, man. The weather's nice. It's like 60 some degrees. Obviously, the pandemic's been a big annoyance to us all, but we're getting back to normal slowly but surely, and things are starting opening up, and we're just about getting back to doing wrestling shows. So can't wait.
I see. Um, I have a few questions for you, Mr. Ellsworth. The first one being, when when you faced back in 2016, when you faced Braun Strowman in your debut match, when you lost to him, what would you remember, and what is your first impressions of going into that match with Braun Strowman on Raw?
Oh man, I just couldn't wait to be a part of Monday Night Raw. It was a dream come true. And Braun Strowman, he's obviously a lot bigger than I am, so I was like, all right, well, this will be fun. He's gonna beat me up pretty bad, but this is my one time I'm gonna be on WWE, and I just can't wait to be in front of the camera and the crowd and to tell all my friends I got to be on Raw one time. So that's what I was thinking that day going into that match.
I see. Marshall or T Plays, do you have a question for Mr. Ellsworth here? Oh, he just left. It's kind of like little malfunction. They keep crashing lately. Hope you
Yeah, I've
understand.
never heard of this app. So
It's not really an well, yeah, I get that. It's kind of new. But besides that, I guess I'll keep it along. If you were put on the current WWE roster, which WWE superstars would you like to team up with or face in the ring?
oh man, that's a good question. There's numerous of them because they have a very talented roster. Um, I would have to go with. I think me coming back and trying to team with AJ Styles, people would think would be funny because we have a history together. So just being, I think it'd be pretty entertaining too because AJ obviously is phenomenal in the ring, and he's just as good as the entertainer as well. And like he's getting to show it a little bit with Almas, but I think if they brought me back and teaming with him, it'd be hilarious. Obviously, yeah, so it'd be him just because we have history. Like even Braun Strowman, you just mentioned, being paired with him, I think would be hilarious as well. And we have history too. Anybody that you have history with is always good to go back and do stuff with.
I see. Yeah, you have beaten AJ Styles in the past like 3 times.
3 times. That's right.
Yeah, and you might remember you actually beat one of the WWE's legends and former tag team champion Kurt Hawkins about 4 times.
Yeah, beat him on some house shows. The biggest one being Madison Square Garden, man. I got a victory at the Garden, like something I'll never forget. Against a really good opponent in Kurt Hawkins, who has had 2 good runs at WWE, and I'll never forget that night at Madison Square Garden, December 26th, 2016.
I see. I might ask, who were your inspirations of getting into the wrestling business and starting your in-ring career?
So when I was growing up, I the first wrestlers I ever noticed were the Ultimate Warrior and Ricky Morton because I watched all wrestling starting in the late '80s. Like I'm talking about my first memories of wrestling being in '88, '89, watching WWF or NWA, and those are the first 2 wrestlers I remember remembering, if that makes sense. And then after that, I really became a huge Shawn Michaels fan when he was a part of the Rockers and just followed his whole career and just loved every entertaining aspect about him. So I would say Ultimate Warrior and Ricky Morton for being the first wrestlers I noticed, Shawn Michaels for being the wrestler I paid attention to the most growing up.
I see. On the topic of that, you made your in-ring debut about in 2002. What do you remember from like getting in the ring like back then and starting out your career?
I remember being a 17-year-old punk kid fresh out of high school that didn't know anything about anything, just wanted to wrestle and wanted to live his dream, wanted to have fun living his dream, wanted just to be around the wrestling business. I remember hitting the ropes for the first time, going, "Wow, this is cool." Taking my first bump, ow, that hurt, but this is what I want to do.
That's what you get in. That's what you do in the wrestling business. You take your first bump.
That's right, and man, yeah, I just remember being excited, man, for sure.
I got a good question. So, Ellsworth, you came in to the WWE around like 2016, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what was your first idea? Who did you really want to fight during that time?
Who do I want to wrestle?
Yeah.
John Cena, because he was the biggest star in the business at the time, and I was like, man, if I could somehow get a match with John Cena, that'd be cool. And in 2017, I got a match with John Cena. Him and Nikki Bella took one, Carmella and I, on an episode of SmackDown. And when you're in the ring with the top guy in the business, you know you're doing something right.
That's very true.
I see. Well, WrestleMania is around the corner. If you were on the current roster and competed at this year's WrestleMania, which superstar would you like to face at this year's WrestleMania?
I think I always think of like what would the fans like to see, and I think the fans would love to see the Ellsworth character come back and chase around R-Truth and try to become the 24/7 champ.
Yeah, it's all about that 24/7 championship.
I think that's the fans would love to see the Ellsworth character do. So I would have to say that for the fans.
well, I, well, a few minutes ago, I've been talking about like these legends that you have competed in the ring with, like Kurt Hawkins and AJ Styles. what about the other ones that you got in the ring with and got a chance to, like Jerry Lawler and the pre-mentioned John Cena, like you've explained now, at a and and how does it feel to be the self-proclaimed world intergender champion and and the
So it's
founder of your own company, Adrenaline Championship Wrestling?
So yeah, Adrenaline Championship Wrestling. I was in 2009. I was just a booker of, and I took it over in 2012 as far as owning it. Um, I love running shows, man. It's a passion that I didn't know I had until about 2012. Um, and I'm really having a good time with it. A lot of fun. I love being around the guys. And then the other part of your question would be like wrestling Jerry Lawler. I should have mentioned him when you asked who my inspirations were. He's like such an old school fun wrestler to watch. Got a lot of good heat as a heel. So growing up, he was like my favorite heel because he was so like ignorant, like yeah, that I enjoyed his work. So like anytime I get to get in the ring with him on these independent wrestling shows is a lot of fun. Yeah, man, dude. So I came back the intergender title stuff. I went in WWE. I wrestled Becky Lynch. It was my last match before I left the first time, and I was like, man. So basically, a girl beat me, and I was gone. So maybe I make this intergender title, and I take it out on all the girls. I defend this title all over the world again, and I winded up doing it. But after a while, you don't do that anymore. It runs its course. So that the intergender title still is around on Grimm's Toy Show GTS. Someone as the champion right now. I'm not sure, but you guys could go to Silly Pop YouTube channel and check out Grimm's Toy Show, and the intergender title is on there being defended probably as we speak.
Yeah, it's you funny you should mention GTS and well, you have actually been on the show numerous times. Well, you have been the tag team champions with Grimm himself,
Yeah,
and you both had like a little different little confrontation between and tried to get the intergender championship off of you. And while he's was still GTS YouTube Wrestling Figures Heavyweight Champion.
that's right. Yeah, and eventually I lost the title to Priscilla Kelly at a Cactus League wrestling event in Arizona, and she came to GTS with the intergender title, and I believe she lost it to someone, and whoever that person is has it now. So that's the history of the intergender title. I think Grimm actually, yeah. So Priscilla Kelly had to forfeit it to me, and then I sold it to Grimm a year ago when there wasn't much toilet paper in the stores. So he gave me a roll of toilet paper for it because I was out. So I traded him, and I think Grimm lost it to someone, and they have the title now. That's
I see. Well, I think you still there, Ellsworth. If you're talking, it's kind of a little malfunctioning there on your behalf. Um, you might still hear me, but I can't hear you for some reason. Um, I I do apologize for this malfunctioning thing. Uh, um, so Ellsworth. Oh, there, Ellsworth. I don't think you can hear me, but my buddy Marshall is showing that he has a Ellsworth champ. He has a little Ellsworth figure of you. Um, he has a pretty good collection. So yeah, he has a. I think he has like almost every one.
I'd
Well,
say a
not
decent
every one.
collection. A decent
Um,
collection. It looks
uh,
amazing.
like I'm gonna say like a couple more times. I apologize for if there's any like malfunctions that happen in this during this restream or during this podcast. I was just so happy to have you
It just
on.
keeps kicking me off. I'm getting very angry. It
Yeah,
keeps kicking me off.
I was thinking of Zoom. I could possibly, I could share Zoom on here, but it would be a little bit difficult to actually share the Zoom with the world with actually having I have actually scheduled a little Zoom thing. I set this up, but if 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 I could open it up real quick, I still have it up. Maybe if I could give you the link to the Zoom. I don't know if it could still work.
They go have the app of Zoom. Can you imagine doing a website? Ugh.
Yes I can.
Well,
You can't. I can't hear you, Mr. Ellsworth. But I will. I don't know if. Hold on one second. I could send you the Zoom link, Mr. Ellsworth, so we can continue our conversation with the interview. The so just getting an invite link.
you sending me that link as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to the and for all. Hold on one second.
You should be learning.
Yeah, I should have done Zoom in the first place. I thought I was so confident of this restream that it could work with no flaws, but oh, come to my mistake.
Dang nabbit, Kyle, what are you doing? Why?
Right, I see.
Vince McMahon does not. This is
I have
puppy.
this. I have sent you the Zoom link, Mr. Ellsworth. And I'm gonna send it to you and Marshall. There you go. It should.
Does he place even have them? I don't know if he does. All right. Well, I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna go join the Zoom.
Okay. I'm gonna. Yeah, you could just I could screen share it. Applicant. I don't see a Zoom. I shared it through your Twitter. Shared the link through your Twitter. As you can see. Just check your Twitter DMs. Just
Oh, you can hear me, right?
Okay. Yeah, I could hear you now. Okay, I was able to work now, Mr. Ellsworth. Oh, there. So, oh, your microphone's off.
Dude, wait.
All right, I got about 5 to 10 more minutes. I got to roll out of here. So.
Okay. I'll try to do my best to kind of.
Now we can see each other and stuff.
Yeah. I was so confident of this restream. I thought, there's no problems, but Zoom is better option.
It's the best.
That's the new alternative. So, so it come to my attention that you one of your trainers that you trained with when you started in the wrestling business was ECW legend Axel Rotten.
Yep.
How did it feel like when you were training with him when you started out in the wrestling business?
I learned more from that guy than anyone. I'm very grateful. I got to be in the car with him. I got to train with him before shows. I got to go to wrestling school with him because he taught me the most, man. The first couple of years of my training and my being on the independents, I was really green. I was really young. Then once I got in the car with him, once I started traveling with him, started training with him, he really helped me out a lot. Made me so much better, and I can't thank him enough. I miss him. We became just like brothers, and I'm very grateful that I knew him and got to train with him and became so close to him, and I miss him every day.
I see. Rest in peace. So you have stated on your Instagram that you are willing to be Carmella's sommelier, and since Reginald is ousted from his position, if you have had actually a lot of history with Carmella, the former. You actually helped her with to win her first women's Money in the Bank ladder match,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and I appreciate the honesty and the courage to do that. So if how would you, in your opinion, well, how would you do as Carmella's sommelier?
Oh, I would do great. I mean, when Carmella was with me, like you said, she became Women's Money in the Bank, the first ever Women's Money in the Bank winner. She then became Women's Champion. I came back, and I was in her corner when she beat Asuka twice. I was like a good luck charm to her. So anything she needs me to do, I do the best at. I mean, the best time in her career was when I was around. We made a great team. So of course, she wanted me to be a sommelier, whatever that even means. I don't even think I spell the word sommelier. I would do a good job at it for her because that's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of friend that I am.
And I appreciate that. That's how you get in the wrestling business and get people to know and to learn from. And so if you were put in the current day WWE, which WWE championship would you go after?
Oh, the WWE Championship. That's the most prestigious title in all of wrestling. I got to compete for it twice. Unfinished business there. I need to come back and win it.
Yeah, you were last time I saw you you were about to like interject. He's like, "Oh, why am not in this WWE Championship? Oh, AJ Styles, you're scared." During the rivalry between AJ and Samoa Joe. I was actually surprised at first when you returned originally from the Money in the Bank ladder match, the Money in the Bank pay per view, when you disguised as Oscar. I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. that was out of nowhere. So
when it comes to James Ellsworth, you got to expect the unexpected. But you'll never know when they'll turn up again.
So speaking of the never say never, are you good? Are you still in good relationships with the people in WWE? Like,
oh yeah, we have nothing. There's no heat there or anything. I'm still in the alumni section. I'm still in the WWE network. I'm still good, and I get texts from higher ups there wishing me a happy birthday and stuff like that. So we're good to go, man, and hopefully one day soon, could be 5 days from now, 5 weeks from now, 5 months from now, 5 years from now, you'll see me on there again.
Hey, Ellsworth, do you remember this happened? The Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles situation.
That's the best feud ever, right there. Right? Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles will be stuck in the middle. That's when SmackDown was at its best.
Oh, hold on, get out of here.
yeah, because Mr. Ambrose or Moxley, he's in AEW now. What do you think of AEW trying to compete with WWE with the ratings war and everything?
I don't think they're trying to compete. I think they're just trying to do their own thing and have fun and be their own entity. And the business is good when you have alternatives, and good for them for getting on TNT. That's huge, and I wish everyone luck.
I see. So you have had a lot of higher ups, like you mentioned, tried to appreciate you and who you are and who you are as a person, as a wrestler. Like name a couple, like current day wrestler and Hall of Famer The Edge, and former and future Hall of Famer Daniel Bryan. Speaking of Daniel Bryan, if you had a match with Daniel Bryan, if would you do good in that match? If you would have good history,
of course.
chemistry?
Yeah, I would defeat Daniel Bryan just like I did AJ Styles. There's people in this world that think AJ Styles is the greatest wrestler in this world. I beat him 3 out of 4 times. If I can bring Daniel Bryan, I'll beat him 4 out of 4 times.
I see. So, Marshall, Travis, do you have any more questions for Ellsworth?
Yes. Would you like to have this happen? Sure.
Have this happen? That's
it looks like Superman next to Superman. That's what it looks like. That's fun.
Let's see. Travis, do you have anything for Mr. Ellsworth before he kind of signs off in the next few minutes?
Yeah,
A dream match here. A dream match.
Oh, so
you guys an action figure guru.
well, I'm not much of an action figure guru, but I've actually gotten some WWE merch off of WWE.com, WWEmerch.com, and actually showed my worth. You know, when I've been a fan of the wrestling business for almost 4 years, and hold on.
Wedding cake.
Oh, there you go. Not. Oh wait, hold on. What? I don't.
That was good.
Hold on.
I didn't have the mask though. I didn't bring up the mask.
Thank God you did that with Mr. Lawrence Spiral, and you just that we haven't had on this channel. Well, we have, but the the episode was deleted. Well, that turned out
Well, here's
a Halo helmet.
yes.
So I am assuming.
Every episode we're gonna be doing. This is gonna be on my face.
I see. I think
on my face like the beginning.
I see.
COVID.
COVID approved mask. All right.
Yeah.
All
right. I think that's good.
Ah.
I think I kind of a very similar for a minute.
A former WWE superstar.
On our podcast.
Oh.
That's amazing.
Hold on. Let me check the chat. I haven't checked it in a while. Let me see. Not really anything. Not really any people in here. I'm just gonna say for sure that you're hold on, you're kind of frozen. Hold on. You know,
put that down.
AJ.
Put it back up. Put it back up. Put it back up. Put it back up, Chad. Put it back up. Let me see it real quick. Put it back up. Put it back up. No, that's it.
You could have. You could have actually asked Mr. Ellsworth a question. I was allowing you the opportunity.
Travis, you could have asked this man a question. Why did you ask him?
I paid my money out of my own pocket to actually get him. So
I had nothing to do with it. At least he didn't ask us to pay both of us. So imagine he asked us to both pay $100. Then I would be screwed because I have no money. I'm poor. Travis, ask them a question next time. If we have him on our show next time, ask him.
The next guy that we're gonna have on our show is scheduled to be Air J, Elite Air J from GTS. No, it's not Vin. That's not Vince Series. Vince Series wanted to be on after Groomania. Like,
want to have a GTS title. That's why they want to have it before he joins the podcast.
Vince Russo.
No, not Vince. I don't know.
Vince Russo.
On her show. Maybe not.
Vince Russo. I tried to get like a lot of people to talk to. I think that was a good of enough podcast. Well, hopefully you guys could tune into more with this podcast. If you want to see more of this and have more guests on, smash the like button. Give me a heart on if you're watching from Periscope. And I guess I'll see you all in the next one of these Wrestling Around episodes. Peace out.